semi-finals. The defending champions Kingston, who won everything last year, remember, they meet Leicester City Riders in the second semi-final. But first, Sunderland take on Thames Valley Tigers. Commentators are Bill Beswick and Paul Dickinson.
This first semi-final of the National Basketball Championships, held for the third year running at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, brings together two teams who finished very high in the National League this year. Sunderland Saints were second in the league, just behind Kingston, and coach Dave Elderkin is very confident that his team can go all the way this season. They're led by Peter Scantlebury, number 8, but also watch out for the playmaking skills of number 11, Russ Saunders. Thames Valley Tigers are coached by a very experienced man, Dave Titmus. He was recently the England team coach. They have a much younger team than Sunderland, but Thames Valley are very confident of beating Sunderland tonight, and who knows, maybe winning the championship.
So on with the first semi-final, and as we join it, Sunderland are in the lead. The scoreline, 58 points to 52.
58 to 52. Thames Valley are down. Just over 6 minutes gone in this second half as Tony Balogan tries to go inside, but that was a wild pass there. Again, it sends Sunderland away, and Scantlebury it is who dunks it for 2 points.
Great play by Sunderland, good defence, and look at this for a nice pass. Well taken, Peter Scantlebury converts forward speed to upwards height. Beautiful balance by the ex-England player, Peter Scantlebury.
He almost broke the basket that time. He slammed it down so hard. But it's all Sunderland Saints at the moment, and their fans are sensing that maybe at Sunderland it is, having had a poor first half, we're going to go through to this final. The missed shot there gives Thames Valley a chance to breathe again. Out wide there to Jenkins. Jenkins with the inside shot, and that brings Thames Valley back into the game. Only 4 points down now.
Very important basket by Jenkins. Nice balance there as he cuts through the lane. That was a tough shot. Somebody needed to hit the basket for Thames Valley. Jenkins took the responsibility. It's only 4 points. Long time to go. Anybody's game.
Lovely balance there by Scott Patterson, but misses the shot. Gives Thames Valley the chance to come away again. And there's a long three-point attempt there, which is missed. Scott Patterson with the rebound. Nearly taken away there by Dale Roberts. Here's Bucknell on the drive again. That's a good pass out to Clyde Vaughan, and Clyde Vaughan does not miss those shots. 2 points there for Vaughan. Watch it again.
Nice pass. Draws the defensive player. Clyde Vaughan goes in, makes the basket.
Thames Valley. Jenkins waiting at the top of the zone, but he's going to be kept out by Steve Bucknell, so he has to feed off to Balogan. It's a long outside shot there by Paul James. And a foul called there by Saunders, and that's Russ Saunders' third foul. Both coaches have been substituting their players wisely, so there's been a lot of rotation in this game, but there's number 11, the playmaker, having a little bit of a smile with the referee. He knew that he'd fouled the player, so Russ Saunders on 3 fouls. That's going to send Paul James to the free throw line, so it gives his players a chance for a bit of a breather. Good shot.
Nice play from Paul James. Very nice player. Played for England. Originates from Leicester. Very calm, very cool customer. Nice play.
So Thames Valley back to within 4 points of Sunderland now. And they must be kicking themselves for letting Sunderland get away to such a lead in this second half. Long shot there by Bucknell. He's lost his touch a little bit now, so Thames Valley coming back into this second half and into this semi-final. There's Dale Roberts with a shot. And I have to say that Dale Roberts is looking sluggish. He really has lost a lot of stamina throughout this season. There's Patterson. Long shot by Sunderland. That's missed, and a great battle there underneath the basket for the rebound. But Sunderland it is who retain possession.
One of the interesting things about basketball, it's a game of rhythms, and substitutions have a big effect on that. Sunderland, with Patterson out, are beginning to lose the rebounds and struggle to get the ball through the gap. But of course, they can always go back to the class player of the game, Steve Bucknell, and he produces the goods.
Well, Steve Bucknell there on the drive, and a foul was called. So Steve Bucknell, watch this. Watch number 12, Dale Roberts, just pushing his hand across there. And that's Dale Roberts' third foul. So Dale Roberts not having a very good game at the moment, but Steve Bucknell is, and he's really on song. There's that extra shot. He got the 2 points from his first attempt, and then the free shot was given. So that again was a 3-point play for Sunderland. That puts them 7 points in the lead. And it could be 2 more here with a fast break. And there's big Clyde Vaughan, who slams the ball down. And really at this moment, as Clyde Vaughan scores his 10th point of the match, watch this, one-handed, slams the ball in for 2. That puts Sunderland 67 to 58 in the lead. And we're nearly halfway through the second half. This is Russ Saunders, the playmaker. He's been shattered all the way by Stedroy Baker. But it looked there as though there was a foul off the ball. And that foul there was Clyde Vaughan, number 5 for Sunderland. Stedroy Baker there, 5'8" playmaker guard. He's had a good game today. Once he gets going, boy, is he fast. That's Jenkins out to the outside. Back to Baker. Michael Hales just trying to feed inside.
That's a shame, that 3-second violation, because that's the best passing offense we've seen from Thames Valley this half. That's what made them so good in the first half. They've forgotten that. If they go back to that good, strong passing, moving the ball wide, they'll come back in this game.
Well, Richard Scantlebury there taking a good rebound. This is him on the ball now. Baker feeds Jenkins. Jenkins has been on for just about the whole of this match. Dale Roberts there losing possession, but Thames Valley will keep the ball. It's pushed out there by Steve Bucknell. Stedroy Baker inside there to Dale Roberts. He tries to feed inside to Scantlebury. Misses this time, so this is going to give Sunderland the chance for the fast break. It's Russ Saunders who feeds it off there. Scantlebury goes up for the rebound. So it's end-to-end stuff now, Bill, and both teams really have just lost their way a little bit. Great shot there by Scantlebury.
Yes, it's broken play at the moment. It's all 100 miles an hour, and neither team can maintain that. We're going to get errors. That's good play by Richard Scantlebury, brother of Peter. There he is, younger brother. And that helps Thames Valley.
Sunderland 67, Thames Valley 60. That's the score, and what a turnaround this has been. 10 minutes gone in this second half in the first semi-final for the National Championships. And who'd have believed at half-time that Sunderland would have been in this position? Well, there's Scantlebury on the drive, and that's a good 2 points for Thames Valley. And the crowd really getting behind these two teams now. It's been end-to-end stuff in this second half. Steve Bucknell tried to feed back inside there from Colin Kirkham, but here is Thames Valley on a fast break, and I think that is going to be a foul by Sunderland, which will send Stedroy Baker to the free throw line.
Good period for Thames Valley now, and it's interesting, it happens when Scott Patterson's off the floor. As soon as Coach Dave Elderkin takes the chance to rest the big man Patterson, Thames Valley come back in the game. And timeout now called by Sunderland coach Dave Elderkin.
Open up the inside, okay? Don't leave the ball, pick it up, make sure it's ours, make sure it's safe. Yeah, let's be honest, who needs a blow here? Are you okay? Right, we're gonna have to get some people some blows. Yeah, good job, C.
Well, he looks a worried man, does Dave Elderkin, but his team have done it all in this second half, and it's them who've got the initiative and the lead by 5 points over Thames Valley, 67 to 62. We're halfway through the second half, and really Sunderland can relax now.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Relaxation's not part of winning basketball, because that lead can be overtaken in the space of 2-3 quick offenses. But what Sunderland do have is Scott Patterson back on the floor. The big number 14 is the key man in the Sunderland offense, because he wins all those essential rebounds.
Stedroy Baker at the free throw line, 5'8" of solid muscle and sheer speed. He really is an exciting player to watch, but lacked a bit of experience there. That was 2 crucial points missed for Thames Valley, and it gives Sunderland possession. So we're just saying Sunderland 5 points in the lead. They've got possession. They're the ones.
Absolutely brilliant basketball. Brilliant basketball. Bucknell, and guess who made it? Big Scott Patterson back in the game. 18 points. Watch this pass by Bucknell. There he goes, way above the defence. Beautiful soft touch by a man 6'10". Lovely play by Sunderland.
There's Jenkins with a long shot. It's missed, but here goes Scantlebury. He's really having a good game now. He's come into his own in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But watch Dale Roberts there trying to get possession. Patterson really is having a fantastic game. He's taken 9 rebounds in defence, and he's got some good shots away too. Sunderland missed out on this shot, and we've got a player on the floor. Not badly hurt, I'm quite sure, but it was just in the melee of what was going on underneath the basket, and that was Clyde Vaughan.
When Clyde Vaughan hits the floor, we check the floor first, because he's a big, big man. 16 stone, 6'4", looks like a prize fighter, but got beautiful manners, wonderful person.
Well, of course, as we all know, basketball is a non-contact game, but really some of these players are very strong and very athletic. So here goes Jenkins on the drive, being kept out by Bucknell, and may well be Bucknell's foul here, and if it is, he's going to have problems, because that will mean he's on 4 fouls. And Steve Bucknell, indeed it is, number 15 in white for Sunderland, one of Sunderland's best players in this championship. Watch this again. Bill?
Well, it's a good move by Jenkins. Bucknell shades him to the basket. The referees ruled that he was making contact while he was shading to the basket, and Bucknell makes the 4th foul. Now, that's the biggest problem that Sunderland have got to face so far this game.
There's Steve Bucknell on the ball, tries to feed inside, and if Bucknell gets one more foul, he's out of the game. So this might be just the incentive that Thames Valley need. That was a superb drive from Michael Hales, 2 points for him. Sunderland have their lead reduced, back to 5 points. Watch this drive by Hale. Little right-handed shot, and it goes in for 2 points. Good play.
15 points, Michael Hales. He's making a great contribution. 5 points the margin. Anybody's game. Great pass by Bucknell. Russell Saunders cutting across the blind side, the back door. Great basket for the little man. Sunderland producing the good baskets to keep this lead.
This is Baker. Goes for the long 3-point shot. That's away. And away comes Sunderland. Russ Saunders on this side, looking for the pass. There we go, but he misses this time. He was shadowed by Stedroy Baker. And it looks as though Russ Saunders could be going to the free throw line. Baker's 3rd foul, and this gives Sunderland a chance to relax, to compose themselves. Thames Valley players, they're getting together in a huddle. They want more effort, they want more skill, and they want more technique, because that's what it's going to take to get back this 7-point lead which Sunderland have got. 71-64 Sunderland lead, mainly down to this man, Russ Saunders. He's been the playmaker throughout the match, and he's had a superb game.
The other factor, of course, that's becoming more and more in Sunderland's favour is the clock's running down. We've got 7 minutes left in the game. That's why the Thames Valley boys are getting together to talk, because as well as Sunderland maintaining the margin, the time is being reduced for Thames Valley to make this comeback.
This is Tony Balogan. He's a big man. He could be looking for the inside, but it feeds out to Jenkins. Jenkins taking his time. Here's Scantlebury. Scantlebury across to Paul James, who takes a shot, but he misses. That was a bad miss. There was nobody on him, and it gives Russ Saunders the chance to come away. Feeds inside there to Steve Nelson, and Clyde Vaughan there just going up to tip it in.
And the important thing about that basket was Sunderland had 4 rebounders, so they're running hard, they're running well, they've got the sense of victory.
This is Balogan against Patterson, but Balogan loses possession. And I just wonder if we'll be seeing another timeout from Dave Titler soon, as Sunderland go another 2 points in the lead. That was a great basket by Peter Scantlebury.
Great pass by Russell Saunders, saw the open man ahead of the defence. Peter Scantlebury finishes off. Key basket. Well done, Peter.
We rejoin the match in the closing stages. Sunderland are in the lead still. The scoreline 97-85.
The clock is ticking away, 39 seconds to go. Sunderland have this 12-point cushion now, and really, Bill, is there anything Thames Valley can do?
No, it's all over now. I think Sunderland have got the composure, they know how to do it, and they've got this man, number 15, Steve Bucknell, by far the best player in the game, and how well he's lasted on 4 fouls. He's been on 4 fouls for 8 minutes, and Thames Valley have not been able to exploit that and get this man to make his 5th foul. He's had a superb game, passing, shooting and defending, and it's fitting the game might close with him. Should have been scoring the shot, Steve.
Well, here's Jenkins on the drive again, taking things into his own hands, and he gets a consolation 2 points. But here's Bucknell, the long pass there to Saunders, back to Bucknell. That is great teamwork. And now they're putting on a show which the crowd are loving. The clock is still ticking away. We've only got 13 seconds left. Sunderland lead by 12 points. And so Dave Elderkin is going to be absolutely delighted with his team's performance. They turned round a one-time 10-point deficit in the first half, and they're going to win this match by 10 points. There's 1 second left still on the clock. A big disappointment for Dave Titmus. But I'm sure the Thames Valley Tigers and Dave Titmus will be back to the championship finals again. We've still got 1 second to play. The Sunderland players celebrating and shaking hands already. But let's not forget there is 1 second to go. Here we go, there's McGuinness, here's Saunders, perhaps with the last play of the match. He misses, but it doesn't matter. Sunderland are through to the final of the Carlsberg National Championships, the first semi-finalists to do so, and they did it in great style. They won by 10 points, 99 to 89, and they're going to be very tough to beat in the final indeed.
Yes, a good win for Sunderland. Now it's Kingston against Leicester. We pick up play early in the first half. Kingston playing in white, Leicester in red.
A packed hall at the National Exhibition Centre here in Birmingham is waiting to see this second semi-final in the Carlsberg National Basketball Championships to bring together 2 teams of contrasting styles. Kingston, led by Coach of the Year, Kevin Cadle, and number 10, Alton Bird, the Player of the Year, have competed so well in Europe this year, and they're going to be so tough to beat. But Leicester, the younger team, but a team of great promise, led by Coach Peter Mintoff, and number 15, Dan Mihar, 6'7" of dynamite from Canada. This is going to be some semi-final.
Well, there was a really bad start for Kingston. Lorenzo Duncan taken to hospital with a head injury. I think I'm actually ahead of this at the moment. Let me just say that we're picking up play here early in the first half.
And there's the Coach of the Year for season 90-91, Kevin Cadle. What a success he's been for this Kingston side.
Foul's called off the ball by Lorenzo Duncan. It's a very physical game. One thing Kingston have learned in Europe is that you have to be tough to compete in the highest level of basketball, physically tough. They call it a non-contact game, but 10 big fellas in a small space, there's bound to be some pushing and shoving, and if there's going to be, you've got to win it.
Absolutely right. And Leicester there driving through. That was a shame. That was a missed shot by Eugene Waldron. And it gives the chance for Lorenzo Duncan to come away on a drive. And he misses as well. So 2 missed shots in a row. Here we go with a fast break. There's Eugene Waldron, but it's blocked out by Kingston. There's Alan Cunningham just passing the ball onto Duncan. And I think he got a finger in the eye. And Waldron steals, misses. And Lorenzo Duncan still on the ground as play goes on. And Martin Clark remonstrating with the referee. I think it was an accident. There was certainly no malice in it. It was just a finger that flicked. Here's Alan Cunningham passing the ball onto Lorenzo Duncan. Waldron just flashed his hand past, and it must have caught Lorenzo Duncan in the eye. That could be serious, Bill. We hope not.
Well, it certainly looked innocuous to me, but Lorenzo went down like a ton of bricks, and presumably something caught his eye. The game stopped.
So the Kingston team physiotherapist there not taking any chances at all. Lorenzo Duncan had a superb season. He's an England player. He's a great three-point shooter from outside the zone. And a lot of experience in Europe this year, of course, but played in America. And it's going to take some time, I think, before Lorenzo Duncan gets back on his feet. And Kevin Cadle looking concerned, because not only is Lorenzo Duncan on the floor, but Alan Cunningham has limped off the court. And this could be a bit of a change round for Kingston. All of a sudden they've lost the initiative, and this looks bad news, because Lorenzo Duncan is being carried off court. He's going to get sympathetic applause from the crowd, but this spells trouble for Kingston, and let's hope it's not too serious for Lorenzo Duncan.
Well, as I anticipated for you, a little too early. A bad start for Kingston there. Lorenzo Duncan taken to hospital with that head injury. We now rejoin play at the start of the second half.
Half-time, 44 points to 32. The jump's going to be Dick Donaldson versus Trevor Gordon. The final 20 minutes away. Make some noise this half.
As Trevor Gordon and Dip Donaldson get this second half underway, Kingston 44 points to 32 in the lead. Trevor Gordon going up for Kingston, the big number 15. He's been a great success in this first half. But no more than Alton Bird, certainly. Alan Cunningham there, number 7. Mike Griffiths, 11. There's Alton Bird. Bird scored 11 points in the first half. That was a good contribution. Trevor Gordon loses possession, though, and he's on the deck. Leicester going for the fast break. And so first blood to Leicester, and that was an important score.
Always important to score the first points of the second half. Dan Mahar there makes that basket. Gene Walden, a lovely pass over the top of the defence. Great balance from the big man, and nice simple shot. And that's been a feature of the first half, those quick breaks to the basket.
Trevor Gordon there making space for himself underneath the basket, and what a lot of space he needs. He's 6'9", 16 stones. Trevor Gordon, number 15. Leicester on the attack again. Dale Harris trying to go inside. Dan Mahar, though, with the outside shot. Rebound taken by Leicester, and that should be 2 points, but they miss. So Alan Cunningham gets the rebound, and there must have been a foul off the ball there. There's a Leicester player on the ground. That's Dan Mahar, and he looks out cold. The referee has gone straight over. In fact, it's a physiotherapist, and this could be a nasty injury.
There's an incident off the ball here. Dan Mahar's just taken the shot. He tangles with big Trevor on the far side, and Trevor tangles back, and his elbow swings, and Mahar's on the floor. There's another incident that's happened. Gene Waldron has protested too much. He's physically and verbally assaulted Trevor Gordon and the referee, and we believe he's been thrown out of the game completely.
And now we have a technical foul on Kevin Cadle. So really, this game is going into chaos. We've had a disqualification, Waldron for Leicester. Trevor Gordon is still hanging around the side of the court there, just wiping himself down with a towel. And now protestations coming from Kevin Cadle. That has meant he's got a technical foul, and the referee really has to get to grips with this.
And this is great, isn't it? This is a man of experience, a man of class. He doesn't want anything to do with all this fuss and bother. He wants to play basketball the real way. He's staying out of trouble, staying composed until the game's ready to go on. The little man showing us all.
And the second half, less than 2 minutes old, but we've had an amazing incident here. Trevor Gordon right at the centre of it, number 15. He's off court. He doesn't like it one bit, but we believe that he's been disqualified from the game. Gene Waldron of Leicester has been disqualified, and Coach of the Year, Kevin Cadle, has a technical foul against him. The two referees there still discussing it, as Trevor Gordon is saying, why me?
So matters moving from bad to worse for Kingston, but as we rejoin play, they still lead by 75 points to 53.
We've had an amazing incident here. Trevor Gordon right at the centre of it, number 15. He's off court. He doesn't like it one bit, but we believe that he's been disqualified from the game. Gene Waldron of Leicester has been disqualified, and Coach of the Year, Kevin Cadle, has a technical foul against him. The two referees there still discussing it, as Trevor Gordon is saying, why me? That's Jerry Jenkins, back to Carl Brown. And And away can Kingston. No, it's Jerry Jenkins with the ball, and a good 2 points for him. So the lead back to 20, or the deficit from Leicester's point of view. Watch this shot. That's a good shot from Jerry Jenkins. He's under a lot of pressure there.
Alton Bird under similar pressure. Garnett Gale, fresh from the bench, putting him under all his hassle. Here's Martin Henlon again. Dave Harris with the rebound.
Away comes Carl Brown, getting the bird a bit from the audience, but he's had a tough game. Carl Brown, being shadowed by Sam Stiller, decides to take the long shot, but misses, and Alan Cunningham it is who sails up and takes that rebound. Alan Cunningham, known as Swoop. So Alton Bird, marked very closely indeed by Garnett Gale. Local boy from Leicester. Sam Stiller being shadowed by Carl Brown. So the Leicester defence still staying very tight. Sam Stiller missing that shot though, and they come away quickly. They want a fast break. Carl Brown on the drive. He's shadowed there by Mike Griffiths, and it may well be Mike Griffiths who gets the foul. Alan Cunningham on the floor, Carl Brown on the floor, but he gets up because he's going to go to the free throw line. And number 11 there, Mike Griffiths, he was the one that fouled Carl Brown. So Carl Brown gets the opportunity for 2 shots.
One gets the feeling that tiredness is creeping in the game now. The last 5 minutes are upon us, and certainly Kingston haven't got the bench that they would like to bring players in and out. Mike Griffiths there in that particular foul, number 11 White, but very tired, and that could be the last deciding factor of the game. If Kingston suddenly get tired, Leicester could suddenly get the surge. They've got a long bench, they've got fresh players in the game. It possibly could happen.
Well, the 6'2" Carl Brown, England and Great Britain international, a local boy from Leicester, playing at the very highest level of his sport now. There's Alan Cunningham though. He's just about to throw the ball away into the crowd, but a foul was called. And that's Alan Cunningham's 3rd foul. So Kingston having a little bit of foul trouble. Alan Cunningham, a great competitor. Cunningham with 10 rebounds in this match, 13 points. Bird trying to tip the ball away there, but Leicester keep possession. Want to go back to the basket quickly. Here's Dan Mihar on the drive, wants to get inside. There's Garnett Gale. He missed his opportunity there. Gale goes straight into defence with Bird. Bird will go past him. He's good with either hand. Doesn't matter whether he's on the right-hand side or the left. He sometimes mesmerises the defences, and he's so quick. He lost possession that time. So Alton Bird totally in control. Well, he lost possession, so not totally under control, but Kingston still leads 75 to 55. Under 5 minutes left, and one feels that perhaps Kingston have got it all wrapped up.
5 seconds to shoot. Martin Henlon makes the turn, misses the shot. It's a smart pass inside Alan Cunningham there. Certainly errors are increasing in the game. It is this question of fatigue, and Leicester desperate to find a shooter. Carl Brown's missed his last 3 shots. Dan Mihar tries there, misses the shot. Leicester just cannot find the basket. They're doing everything else okay, but they can't score.
Well, a bit of the zip has gone out of this game now, and that's understandable because Kingston are dominating, and Leicester, I feel, know that they're up against a very, very strong team indeed. And having said that, both teams missing shots. Martin Henlon, though it is, he gets one back for Kingston. That stretches the lead to 22. Just over 4 minutes left. That was a good basket by Henlon.
Well, that's the place to go. If you're not making it with your outside shooting, go inside for the close-in shot. And, of course, this is what Leicester can't do. With this big Kingston zone defence and 3 big men surrounding the basket, they can't get the ball inside for those close-in shots. There's the struggle there, and they may pick up the foul.
Well, that nearly turned out to be a bit of a wrestling match because it was Alan Cunningham who got the foul again against Dan Mihar. Alan Cunningham there, number 7, with his hands on his hips. He's not having a very happy time over the last few minutes, but Kingston dominating this match, 77 to 55. Under 4 minutes to go, and it's all going Kingston's way at the moment. that's a good shot from Mihal. He's a very experienced man. 6 feet 7 tall. They call him the man. He's had experience in Europe. He's played in the Olympic Games. He's played in World Championships, and that's why.
Hell of a performance from Dan Mehar, and this is Leicester pressurising again. If they're going to come back, it's got to be now, and it's got to be by pressure defence. But one gets the feeling that Leicester is just as tired as Kingston. Look at the space Martin Clark's got for that shot.
Martin Clark had a good first half, but he's lost his way a little bit in this second half as Mihar goes on the drive again. That was a little bit scrappy there. Lost possession. He was trying to feed Harris, but the ball went away from him. Let's just watch the defence of the Leicester team. This is Mike Landell that the coach has put onto Alton Bird, just to slow him up a little bit. And it does work, but Bird totally in control again. And that was an off-shot balanced by Clark, but a foul by Jerry Jenkins. And I think that perhaps Martin Clark was a little lucky there because he was off balance. But unfortunately, Jerry Jenkins caught him. And that means there will be a foul call. Jerry Jenkins goes piling in, and Clark ends up on the floor.
Martin Clark, number 14 here, taking these foul shots. Certainly one of the finest English players we've ever produced. He's had an indifferent season for Martin's standards, and his problem is he's used to playing basketball, training basketball full-time, giving it his full attention, and of late he's had to work at developing a career. He's not had the time to practice his points, 6 rebounds. He's had a fine semi-final and must now be confident of appearing in the final.
Well, Kingston, I'm sure, confident of making the final, but Leicester haven't given up. That's Carl Brown. He feeds across, back inside to Dan Mihar. Trying to get the ball away to Harris, but the Kingston defence far too tight, and they are a big defence after all. They've got 3 guys out there on the court, all over 6 feet 7. So Sam Stiller looking for Alan Cunningham. Martin Henlon just waiting to go inside, but comes to the outside of the zone. Cunningham feeds to Stiller. Martin Henlon again being kept out by Harris, but here's Clark. This is that one. The ball pushed out by Mihar. Martin Clark over on the far side, number 14. He has the distinction of being in the Guinness Book of Records because he's the only player in the English League ever to have scored 50 points 3 games in a row. That's some record. Timeout called.
Whatever side the ball is, I'm going to nowhere with it. Let's go for it low. All right, let's go for whatever side the ball is. High. All right. Take to my half. The ball. All right, now, you 2 guys at the top, you go down and set a double for Martin. So Martin's going that way. All right, so you come in, 2 setting the double, you bringing it in. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Now you have to go. You have to go quick. As soon as Martin slaps the ball, then we do it. As soon as Martin slaps the ball, you do it.
You do it,
yeah,
and you will do it. Yeah, you will do it. And that's the secret of Kevin's success. He doesn't let up. And he's going to play this game till the end because that's how you create good habits in players. Never quit on a game, never think you're too far ahead.
Sam Stiller trying to get a shot away, and an opportunity to see number 9 there, Matt Cunningham, just running out of shot. So the first appearance in the national finals for young Matt Cunningham. 6 feet 6 tall. Only 18 years old. How about that for potential? Leicester on the attack. Feeds inside. That's a good shot there by Dave Harris. Comfortable shot there from Dave Harris. So 2 points back for Leicester, but it's all going Kingston's way at the moment. Just inside 2 minutes left. Alan Cunningham still on a drive, looks for the pass, but decides to go for the shot. Martin Clark makes it 2 for Kingston. 81 points to 59. And really, Bill, it's all over bar the shouting now.
Yes, Kingston weathered that storm at the start of the second half where all hell broke loose and the game went to pieces. But Kingston's experience in Europe stood them in good stead. Everything Leicester threw at them, they've maintained their composure and they've produced great moments like Alan Cunningham there, finding the opening, making the basket. Great play.
Well, we could see some exhibition basketball now because I think Leicester know that the odds are totally stacked against them. And the Kingston are the team that will go through to the final, and what a season they've had. They were totally dominant in the National Basketball League. They played with extreme confidence in Europe, the first English team ever to get through to the championship finals of the European Cup. And it looks as though they could be going through to the finals of the National Cup. So a foul called there, and that's Dan Mihar, and that's his 4th foul. So nearly just 1 minute left, and totally dominant Kingston as we watch Dan Mihar walk back to his bench. A timeout has been called. In fact, it's a substitution. Alan Cunningham there just coming off. He's having a rest, and coach Kevin Cadle giving some of his younger players a chance to come on and shine. That's Steve Tomacek. Great moment for him to come onto the Birmingham court in these championship finals. They will all add to their experience. Under a minute to go. Martin Henlon it is who goes in for the shot. Away comes Dan Mihar. He's been dominant for Leicester. Leicester still trying hard.
Steve Tomacek fouls there. He comes on court and fouls immediately, but that won't worry him at this stage of the game. The one problem Coach Kevin Cadle's got is the fact that his team have been made to play so hard for this victory, and it's been such a rough, tough game. He's got problems with fatigue, he's got problems with injuries, and he's got problems with Trevor Gordon having been banned from the arena after a particularly nasty incident. He doesn't know whether Gordon will be back to play for the final. Lorenzo Duncan's in hospital. He may have problems.
Well, the foul there was called on Dan Mihar. What a game he's had, but that was his 5th foul, so he has to leave the game. 23 points he's scored and 11 rebounds. You can't ask any more from a player than that. And only 44 seconds left on the clock, but it means that Kingston go to the line now for 2 shots. Mike Griffiths it will be who will take the 2 shots for Kingston. Now I suppose we have to say, Bill, possibly the favourites to take this title.
Well, apart from the one factor I've just mentioned, they are a very tired team, victorious but very tired, and with a whole series of problems involving Duncan, who's injured, and Gordon, who may well be banned from the final. That may swing it against him. If it's on pure basketball, Kingston have done a great job tonight, as they have done so many times this season.
Well, good shots there from Mike Griffiths. He'll be pleased with that as Jerry Jenkins tries to get a long shot away. The clock ticking away. A long pass there down to Tomacek. He couldn't hold it. 30 seconds to go, and Kingston really just biding their time. They're in no hurry. They're under no pressure now. The gap, 23 points. And so Kingston it will go through to this final. It just remains to be seen whether Leicester can get a few points back before the hooter goes. There's Tomacek. Sends it out to Griffiths. Griffiths looking for Sam Stiller. Stiller's had a good game. Always on the boil is Sam Stiller. What a good player. 7 seconds left. He takes the shot. And Leicester may have the last chance for glory. But Kingston it is who will go through to this final. They win the match, the second semi-final, 85 points to 62. A great victory for Kingston, a great victory for Kevin Cadle. They go into the final against Sunderland, and that's a match that you can see on Grandstand next week. The full-time score, Kingston 85, Leicester 62.